Thanks again for tuning in to Dub of the Week. This is Tony Brand, a.k.a. Cultivated Mind. Big shout to Mr. Greg Gutty. Thank you for coming through and doing this dub tune if I'm ready. Greg's music's amazing. I got descriptions below. Make sure you check him out on social media. And instead of yapping away, I'm going to go right to the tune today. And make sure you stick around afterwards for an interview with the man himself. Ciao. Welcome everybody to Dub of the Week, and welcome to Lion Pride Studios. We are on the road this week to have a very special interview with one of the best songwriters I've ever come across, Mr. Greg Gutty of Portsmouth, Virginia. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing well, man.
Great. Blessed to have a chance to come by and check out your studio and hear some of the music you're working on. To kind of get started, I'd like to talk first about what it is that you kind of describe your music as, where you came up with the title for your style of music, and some of the things that go into your recipe for creating Greg Gutty music and songs.
It started as a child, you know what I mean? Like I would tell anybody, I started singing at about 5 years old with my 3 older cousins in a quartet group, and we would sing gospel music, and we did that for about 10 years, up until I was maybe like, 12, 13, maybe something like that. But anyway, my style just come from just gospel and roots, and just very melodic sounds, you know.
Well, when you go to write a song, do you aim kind of first with your lyrics, or do you have the overall like the chord progression in mind, or maybe the rhythm or the overall song already kind of set out musically first? Like what comes first for you, the words, the notes, or is it kind of a whole picture kind of thing?
Um, it de- Both, all of them. It just depends. Sometimes it's the lyrics, sometimes it's the melody. You know, sometimes it's just the chord progression, like you say, the note. You know, just like with child support, it started as a note, like, you know, that intro you hear, it was just that before it was any lyrics. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it just really depends, you know what I mean, what comes, you know, because one thing about music, we don't have any control of it. You know, music is magical to the point where it's like you're just lucky enough to catch it if you hear it. You know what I mean? It's all about hearing it. As a producer, you can ask anybody. It's about hearing it, you know what I'm saying? And if you're lucky and blessed enough to hear it, then please do us a favor and deliver it.
don't question the
Don't be,
spark, just write it.
yeah,
Ride with it.
yeah, but,
I feel you.
you know, I don't mean to sound all weird or nothing, but at the end of the day, you know, um, we all are fortunate enough to feel that and hear that magic.
Yeah, if inspiration hits, you don't question which and what form it comes, right? Whether it's the lyric, an idea, something in your heart that moves you.
Yeah,
You just run with it when you get it. You know, I feel you.
true.
All right, so for the reggae fans, since this is a dub kind of series that we do, what are your reggae heroes? Like, who are some of the first artists that you heard in reggae music? You know, dancehall, ska, anything that's branched off Caribbean music, and then kind of who are you into now that you like reggae wise?
Well, I could say growing up, I heard, well, to be honest with you, growing up, I wasn't really around reggae music a lot. And what I heard from reggae came from the radio. So it would be like, you know, Shabba Ranks, you know, um, you know, Cobra Flex, all of them guys type of things, you know. Um, just a lot of old school, you know, reggae artists, you know what I'm saying? Even Shaggy, he was on the radio.
Yeah, quite a bit when we were younger, quite a bit.
Yeah.
And in
Super Cat,
soundtracks.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Super Cat is a big guy. I listen to Super Cat a lot. So like I say, you know, all of them type of guys. But, you know, I mean, you could say that was my introduction to reggae, but I think that was my appetizer. I got my full course meal around 2008 when I started really listening to like the Wailers, like their old school music. Like I listen to Bob Marley, you know, a couple songs like Buffalo Soldier and different things. But when I really got into reggae, it was with like Mr. Brown and all of those old Wailers records from like 1960, 67 and 65 and 64. So I say the Wailers, Dennis Brown. I don't mean to drag out all of this stuff.
No,
know?
I'm glad you hit Dennis Brown.
Dennis Brown,
he's one of
Alton
my
Ellis.
favorites.
You know what I mean? We can go on and on and on. You know, it's too many. I mean,
Well, outside of reggae, then, because you do have, I've seen some of the things you're interested in, and you do have a big span of your reggae interests. But I think what is the coolest part of your music is the fact that you're able to mold in and sometimes take over the whole backbone of the music. Genres outside of reggae. A lot of times it's more R&B, but it never feels like forced or like you mash them together without creating something that felt like it was on purpose and done right. So, what are some of the other things that you add in to the music? Kind of, I know you call it Ray Hip Soul. So, do you want to talk about some of the other artists maybe that also kind of influence you outside of reggae as well?
yeah, John Mayer for one. You know, I am a huge fan of John Mayer, you know, as a guitarist. And outside of reggae, I love all music. I mean, from R&B to gospel to soft rock. You know, I'm a huge fan of Tom Petty. You know, I love a lot of old school music, honestly. If you want to ask me what's my favorite, it's music from like the 60s or the 50s. Ray Charles, you know, the Stylistics, you know, just, you know, old
The original R&B.
I mean,
Yeah.
back, I even sometimes listen to music from 1920. You know what I mean? Because I just like the root of music. Because we all grow, you know what I mean? Like, the next generation going to take what we give them and enhance it.
Yeah.
And that's all that we ever did, and that's all that we ever do, you know. You know, from the 60s to the 70s to the 80s, all they ever done was just enhance what was already done. And that's what we're still doing today, enhancing music.
Well, you definitely take it forward.
Well,
And,
I pray,
create
you
something new,
know, I
man.
try, you know, stick to the root, you know what I mean? Keep the root alive.
Yeah.
You know, because as long as you got the root, we can continue to grow.
Yeah,
and that's all I'm trying to keep
honesty
on.
in your music and
Just keep the root.
The right vibe for what you're doing.
Yes, bro.
This is another thing too. Since you're from an area that's not known necessarily for reggae, was it like a high school thing? You said you heard it on the radio first. Or that's how you got kind of into the reggae when you were younger. What was like? I guess my question is, how popular was reggae around your area? Because, you know, especially where I'm from, which is about 30 minutes from where you started out, it was tough to get it going across. Did you find, I guess this is my question, did you find it tough to get people on board with your style, especially because you do mold different things and kind of belong in your own genre in a lot of ways? Was it hard to get people to kind of appreciate the music at first, or did you find that you had a hungry audience that was waiting for something like this?
I think it became natural, you know. It was more something like, you know, people just related to what I was doing, you know, and it's just a natural thing. Because I've been doing it since I was 5 years old. I went to the Apollo in 2000, the year 2000. And, you know, that was a big deal. We won twice. We were signing autographs and everything. I'm like 13 years old. You know, so it was a big deal. It was something that I always knew I would be doing it, you know what I'm saying? We even had the chance to be on the Moesha show, me and my group. You know, so like I say, it's just it was just a connection, and I believe that me and people are still connecting, because it's a lot more connection to be, you know. But I'm thankful for everything thus far. But yeah. I think, like I say, reggae music wasn't heavy in my community as more so as what was played on the radio. It was more like hip hop and R&B. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when, I ain't even gonna say no names, but let's just say Jodeci. You know, Jodeci and all these guys. You know, H-Town, Genuine.
Jadakiss.
Well, that's a hip hop artist. You wanna say hip hop, Jadakiss. You know what I'm saying? Biggie Smalls.
Just think of when I was younger. Who was
yeah. All those guys. DMX.
Dipset.
Eminem.
Santana Band.
You know, that's what the radio played, and that's what I heard, and that's what I like. But reggae wasn't like a highlight when I was growing up. I didn't really like fully indulge into that until later. After I grew mentally, like after I matured, you know what I mean, and really like found out who I was as a person, my nationality, and who I really am, a child of Israel, descendant of Jacob, Abraham, Isaac. You know what I mean? Before then, I didn't know that because the radio didn't play that. You know what I mean? I had to find that out on some other stuff.
Yeah, the radio music doesn't tell you to go discover your roots, what you're about, where you're going.
That. All they say is let's do what we got to do. Let's have a good time.
I hate to do this, but like I'm because I don't want to fanboy on you, but you were one of the most tasty, buttery guitar players. Where do you get who's you talk John Mayer? Let's talk about you. Like what's your axe style? What's your dream guitar? What's the gear you use for people? Because this is kind of like a gear talk kind of thing. And I didn't have you on guitar on this one, but next time I have you, we're putting you on guitar. But yeah, what's kind of like your style that you like most playing on guitar? What do you blend particularly there, and what is some of the gear that you use when you play? Like, what's your favorite guitar? Yeah.
I am definitely a Fender guy, for sure. Fender to the heart, you know what I mean? Classic American Fender. That's me, you know, and I'm definitely a nice reverb guy with, of course, delay. I have to have some delay. And I love wah-wah, you know, the wah-wah sound. So it's just a mixture of a lot of those type of things. But you will always hear like a good strong reverb and delay in my music. I'm all about that.
And one click from the neck pickup, right? Or do you go all the way up the neck pickup?
As far as what?
Your tone selector switch.
Oh, I'm second from the very top.
That's what just the tone and everything. It's nice and glassy.
Like it's the top. I'm the very second one from the top, whatever you call that.
That's
and it's like
Stevie
four
Ray
of them. It's
played
like
that a lot.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I'm the second one.
That's you have a nice tone, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I will do the third one
for a little more scratch
boom,
or something.
boom, boom. But yeah, that's more lighter to me. They give it more lighter sound. Before the more heavier sound, it's that second one. Because it don't give so much static, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have as much of the hum coming through. That's a good point.
That's what I'm trying to say. I hate that sound.
Especially when lights are all feeding with it and it gets nasty. But no, you know you always have a beautiful tone in it. It's super glassy and
so do you, man.
Oh,
so
thanks.
do you, bro. Definitely.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So this is the final kind of I don't know what you want to call it, but I usually call them mission statements. How would you describe the purpose for what you do? Why is it that you were driven to make music as an artist?
Well, it's because of my roots, man. My roots go back far, you know, but I'll take you as far as back as 1896, where there was a man named William Saunders Crowdy, and he was forced to start an organization, which would be the Church of God and Saints of Christ, so he can preach this truth legitimately. Because back in the day in society, just like today, you have to have license and you have to have certain things to do certain things. But he started out in the streets like any other guy like me, selling CDs in the streets, hustling. But at the same time, he was preaching this truth and telling us that we, us black people, us so-called colors, niggers, whatever you want to say, we are the descendants of the children of Israel. We are the part of the 12 tribes of Israel. And that's what he taught from the Bible. You know what I mean? But 1896, he started his organization, boom, boom, boom. My family, as far as I know, was born around 1885, which is my great-grandmother. And she had my great-great-grandmother, whatever, around 1907. But she was already a part of this organization when my grandfather's mother was born. So I'm trying to take you back to as far as like real roots, as far as where I come from this music and why I do what I do. This is like not some fairy tale. This is proof, you know what I mean, of my roots and where I come from, you know what I mean? And it goes all the way to 1885, and I know, you know what I mean? I know the history. So to move forward, we was all singers and we come from a spiritual background, you know what I mean? We was all faithful members of this organization called Church of God and Saints of Christ, which was teaching us that we was the children of Israel. So I come from that, and the reason why I do music is because the truth must be told. And I didn't choose to start singing at the age of 5. I didn't choose to do that. That's just what was there for me. And we wasn't like an average fly-by-night singing group. You know, we was in magazines. I can, you know, bring that, you know, but who needs to prove that, you know? It was a legitimate career all the way up into the Apollo. So I have to continue on what's been started, you know what I mean, a long, long time ago. So it's roots, man. And I don't mean to go that deep and that personal, but I have to, so you can understand. I don't do this just to do it, you know.
So in a lot of ways, do you feel like you carry a banner in a way? And I don't mean like a literal.
You see this flag right here?
Like I get that's a banner too.
No. But that's what I'm saying. During our worship service, we carry a staff with these same, not colors, but same ribbons, and not necessarily that flag. I mean that hook. But we carry a staff every Sabbath. And we use that staff to do, certain things like choir march. And that choir march represents, leading your flock, you know what I mean? Shepherd, leading the flock, that's what the flag means. But at the end of the day, these guys come from Kingston. We in America, you know what I'm saying? Black Americans come here on a slave. I feel like they're passing the torch. So yeah, at the same time, I do feel like the banner is being held by me, because I feel like Jamaicans were the ones who came out with this truth. I didn't
started the march.
I didn't hear this truth from my black Africans in America. I didn't hear this truth. I heard soul music, which is great. I love it. You know what I mean? Have you seen all them great classic oldie but goodie music? I've heard that. But I didn't hear this. And this is what they taught. It's like this music matched what I was brought up upon. I'm hearing about the children of Israel and, King David and Isaac and, you know what I mean? All of them, Solomon. And this is the ones who's talking about it. So it connected me with it. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So I do feel like us as Americans, we need to, all around the world, we need to awaken, because we're spread across the four corners of the earth. You know what I mean? The children of Israel. Because we disobeyed the sins and the covenant that we set with the Most High. You know what I mean? To carry out a certain lifestyle. We disobeyed that covenant. So instead of becoming first, we became last. This is the punishment. Here in Babylon, suffering. But nobody wants to hear that. So why talk about it? Let's keep on smacking some ass and, I'm sorry. Doing whatever we do, Sing a lullaby on the beach.
I'll throw an air horn over there.
But the struggle knows what the struggle knows, you know what I mean? And they know. So
I feel you. I think if you're a part of, even if you're not fully always playing reggae music, I feel like there's a part of you that any kind of human can get a lesson out of it, whether it's about themselves, history, roots, or at least the oomph to get back up again and keep marching. And there is a lot of the Bible has been clouded funny and read funny over the years, and people forget.
But it's all love. It's not about separation. It's really about unity.
That's what I'm saying.
Because we all must come under the banner and the lifestyle of the way of the Most High. And there's no getting away around that. We're living in the way of the heathens right now, because that's who's running the world.
Yeah.
And who all's for it is great.
It's a whole New Testament right now.
There shall come a time where we all will live positive. We're killing each other and raping each other or lying and stealing, and whatever we do, it's not going to be the vibes. The vibes is going to be peace, love, and truth, and unity, and I trust you. I can leave my doors unlocked. We can't do that no more. I can't leave 100,000 on the table around too many people, because they're going to steal it. Some of it. But we're not going to live in that world when the Most High start ruling. But I know that's over a lot of people's head right now, so we just try to keep it level, right? What they say keep it level.
And we put faith in people that they can see these things.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's about unity, because the children of Israel, and I'm going to leave this alone, I ain't going to say nothing else, we're going to go about something else. The children of Israel,
say what you want to say, man.
They were chosen not because they were special. We walk around, you may hear people on the street, we chosen, we special. No, it's not special. We was chosen because we was supposed to do a certain agreement, like carry out a way. We was chosen to carry out a certain mission, a certain way of life. You know what I'm saying? And that way of life was not meant for just the children of Israel. It's not like, you know what I mean? We was just chosen to carry it out. To teach it. That's it. That's it. But the way that we're teaching is for everyone. And that's what Bob was trying to say. Like the way of the Most High is for everyone. It's not just for the children of Israel. It's not like we mighty, we black, or we this and we but. No, we were just chosen to carry out the way of the Most High, the mission. And so far, we've been failing. But, you know, the prophecy says that a mighty king will be risen. And who's to say who he is? He could be sitting on your couch right now. You know what I mean? But the nation of Israel is one. So, you know what I mean? We all carry that whip. But anyway, that's all I want to say, man. Peace and love, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled for everyone. Because we all are one people. God made us all. I don't know how we got to this part of music, but
no, this is the stuff I love, though. This is great. This is you, man. This is you teaching. It's you walking what you're talking, man.
Right.
So for, and this is terrible because I'm about to take it to a real superficial level for a minute. And my apologies, but I do respect carry the banner thing, man.
Respect.
And I feel like even in my own life, I have a lot of skeletons in the closet over the decades, and my part in history is to correct those things. And you know what I'm saying? I at least walk differently than the people before me, and I think everybody can kind of, even if this is new to you and the message is new to you, you can take something from it that helps you realize that you are trying to forward something better.
Yeah.
You know? All right, so let me take it off in left field. My bad, dude.
No.
Let's talk about, you're making music right now. I love some of the new stuff I'm hearing. You just released some new music and you had an album out recently. Can you tell some people where they can find your stuff? I know we went from deep spiritual talk.
No, that's perfect.
Can you make a plug for your tunes? But and what's coming up on the radar for Greg Gutty?
It's a lot of stuff coming on the radar. Like I said, the album Spiritual Warfare has been on all social platforms, music platforms. So you can find it on Tidal, Apple Music, everywhere. It's called Spiritual Warfare. I got an acoustic project I just released about 3 or 4 months ago. It's called Fruits of Thy Labor. And it's just a good, a little thoughtful, ride around, ride home type of vibe, you know what I mean? Or riding through, country town, chilling, vibing, communicating with nature. I think that's what that project represents. It's about 3 songs, but it has a lot of nature in it, you know what I mean?
Well, thank you, Greg. I appreciate you enlightening us and sharing some of your recipe for how you're making music. I appreciate you doing the track. So, folks, make sure you stick around after this interview and you get to hear a nice mashup of I'm Ready, which is a classic by Mr. Greg Gutty, done real dubbed out. And please check out his music. I'll have descriptions and links to his stuff below. And once again, thank you, sir. It's been a pleasure. And hope to see you soon again, Mr. Gutty.
Same way, bro. Big ups to Cultivated Minds, Tony Brand. You already know what it is. Please understand, righteous movement. We're moving high. Greg Gutty, #1 survivor. Yeah, bless.
I hope you guys enjoyed that interview. Bless up to Mr. Greg Gutty. Thank you again for coming through. Amazing songwriter, amazing musician, and always cooking up stuff. He just released an acoustic album. The guy's unstoppable. So please check out Mr. Greg. Please pass him on to your friends. Follow him on social media and figure out when his shows are coming out. Thank you again, Greg. It's always a pleasure, brother. For today's top-notch dub watch, I'm going over Alborosie's Dub Clash. Alborosie, Italian Cat. This album was made 2010 in Italy on his Schengen Clan label. He's one of my favorite producers and musicians. He keeps it real. He uses all the old vintage instruments. He produces himself. He plays them himself. He is a brilliant songwriter and lyricist. You probably know Herbalist, Kingston Town, a lot of big tunes. He likes to put his own flavor on things, so check out International Drama. But today I'm talking about Dub Clash. And Dub Clash is, if you like King Tubby, if you like Roots Radix, if you like Scientist, if you like classic 60s and 70s dub music, this is the ticket. It's one of my favorite dub albums. It's got some cuts that are obviously nods to classic reggae rhythms, like the Send Them Dub, Past the Dutchie. You'll notice the connection there, and I always forget the original rhythm for that. But yeah, it's a lot of nods to classic tunes, reworkings of some of his tunes like Kingston Town or No Cocaine or Global. But I think one of my favorites on there has to be the Space Echo Malfunction Very playful horns. Obviously, the working of the delay back and forth on the time knob is glorious. A lot of nice warping sounds that are actually more warm than harsh. He nails the production. He nails the vibe. And there's definitely, like I said, shouts to some of the greats. There's an Augustus Pablo tune on there too. Yeah, one of my favorite dub albums. It's a nice big one. If you like rockers, heavy stuff too, I think some of the last tracks, like Double Bubble, is one of them. And obviously the Kingston Kingston Town reworking. So please check that out. That's Alborosie's Dub Clash. I love that dub album. I hope you guys enjoy it too. And I'll have links to that below so you can check out the top-notch dub watch for the week. And I don't know, spread it to your friends. So for the gear talk for today, I'm going over the stock plugins, the tape delay plugins for Logic, and they're also on GarageBand. If you're on GarageBand, unfortunately, you don't have the ability to automate. At least I remember that being the case about a year ago. You don't have the ability to automate in real time, which is why I got really into using mixers and also for that classic sound. But it's also why I had to go to mixers and guitar pedals and things because I didn't know how to automate like the feedback levels in real time without having to draw it and stuff like that. And so it was a little bit too robotic and clinical. But one of the greatest features with the tape delay thing is the fact that you can write in real time in Logic. And then that makes it available for you to be able to work the feedback knob up and down. And the best part is to mess with the deviation knob, which is how you get things to warp, slow your tails down, or speed them up. Like I was talking about in the Space Echo Malfunction track on the Alborosie Dub Clash. That's how you get some of those like kind of sounds. And so if you're careful with the feedback knob and you realize it's not analog gear and you can pull back a bit and pull off some of the high end on some things. And I think you can actually get a pretty nice sound that sounds really classic, sounds great on horns. And can go anything from harsh to kind of warm and tapey and epic, because that's what's supposed to be. But once again, that's the GarageBand tape delay. I usually don't go over stock plugins, but I use this one a lot, and I used it a lot on this track. So I figure it's something to note for this week's Gear Talk, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you once again to Mr. Greg Gutty for coming through, and thanks for letting me come through to your studio and interview you. And I hope you guys enjoy his music and check out what he's got coming down the road, because Greg is an amazing artist, amazing songwriter, and steadily working, and always has something new coming out. So please keep up with that. Thank you again for tuning in to Dub of the Week. Please check out the Alborosie Dub Clash, and I'll see you next week as we get closer to the end of Season 1. And we're going to be with someone really interesting, a guy who's played with a lot of people. He knows a lot about reggae music, and going to do some interesting things with some Space Echo, and is going to demo the Space Echo as well. So, which is one we should have had on here already on Dub of the Week. So it's about time. I'm not going to say who it is, but please tune in next week. Once again, thank you, Greg Gutty. Thank you, everybody, for checking it out. Like, subscribe, send it to people. Even if they don't like dub, send it to them anyways. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you next week for another one. Ciao.
Shall fall, I will become his God. Covered in righteousness and no matter.